Mike, so I get done watching Minute to Win It on NBC, and I'm trying to check the other channels with the Yankees, Red Sox, and it comes across a scroll. McNabb traded. I'm like, wow.
Shocking development.
To the Redskins. That was the biggest thing that blew my mind. That'd be like Derek Jeter going to the Red Sox. Like Kobe Bryant.
I mean, it's not going to happen in that specific
Kobe
case.
going to the Celtics. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I guess when I got over the initial shock, I'm thinking maybe this is the best trade, the best offer they could have got, and they also want to make this in time for them to evaluate players in the draft. That if they waited the draft, it wouldn't happen. But this is the second time that Andy Reid has traded within his division. He traded with the Cowboys a few years ago, and Anthony Spencer looked pretty darn good the last 2 weeks against the Eagles, and that was the guy that the Cowboys got. So my overall question to you is, was this a good trade for the Eagles or not?
I think in context, it was an okay trade. And by context, I mean NFL disposes of veteran players. That's one thing. Number two, NFL has this magical, mystical, religious obsession with draft picks. Draft picks are overrated to the point of insanity in the NFL. Right. So within that context, yeah, it was an okay move, I think.
You know, I said don't just trade him to trade him. I don't think they did that. I think they did get some value back. I kept thinking, this guy put up some pretty decent numbers last year. You better get some equal value. 37th pick overall is not bad. With one, it's a conditional pick. Probably going to be a third pick of the year. What gets me is you must be saying that Don McNabb can't play anymore if you're going to train within your division. You're not worried about this guy.
I think that's what you are saying. And a couple things. Jason Campbell, who was the quarterback that McNabb will be replacing, had a better completion percentage and threw for more yards last year than Donovan McNabb did with clearly worse inferior receivers and a god-awful offensive line. Not that the Eagles' offensive line was great, but
right.
And this is where this might, in a sort of indirect way, really impact the Eagles, which is that the Redskins are not going to be tempted now to draft Jimmy Clausen. Or somebody like that. Right. So they're going to build their offense. They're going to build offensive line. I think clearly there's a kid named Russell Okung, I think is how you pronounce it, from Oklahoma State, who was a left tackle who could very well be Donovan McNabb's bodyguard next year. Sure. He's a rookie, so draw your own conclusions about that. But over the long haul, this might allow the Redskins to build. Already have a pretty good defense. Already have a good running back situation and some good people there. It's not going. I don't think it's going to happen next year for the Redskins, but maybe indirectly over the long haul, this could be a way for them to build.
A couple things that blew my mind. Andy Reid kept saying in the press conference that this was a good move for Donovan, and I kept thinking, when in sports do they look out for the player with a good move?
That's true.
Trade him to Oakland. What's best for your team? And they kept saying, well, he may hold out if he goes to Buffalo or Oakland. No, he won't. If he wants paid, he's going to show up. Richard Seymour said he wasn't going to go to Oakland. Oakland said, that's fine. We just won't pay you. Guess what? He showed up and played, and now he's signed an extension.
That's a good call, Starkey. Way to go.
I think McNabb has not been coached in years. He just does his thing. Have you seen McNabb get better from year in to year out? No. Shanahan is good with coaching quarterbacks. We'll see if he can coach McNabb and maybe make him better. They are putting some weapons around him, I think, and I don't think the Eagles ever really put great weapons around him for the long haul. We'll say what you want, but they got Portis. They now have Larry Johnson. They now have Fast Willie Parker there. If they get a receiver, rumor has it Terrell Owens may actually wind up in Washington. He can still catch the ball, rumor has it. They may actually put weapons around him he really didn't have in Philadelphia. We'll find out if McNabb can still be a player or not. One last point I've got for you.
Okay.
One last one to get in. Everybody says, but don't trade your division. When they trade with the Cowboys, Anthony Spencer was pretty good. They got 3 picks back. You know those 3 picks were? Kevin Cobb, Stuart Bradley, and Brent Selleck. 3 guys that can play.
So I would do that deal again.
So trading within your division doesn't always hurt you.
Very good, Starkey.